What's up YouTube, I'm Mike, and today I'm back with a new video series going into Trenbolone confessions. That's right, I've been taking quite a beating in the comments the last couple of days. People calling me everything from mentally ill to narcissist and many others. So I want to help some of you guys out who are looking for the proper term. The accurate pejorative that you're looking for that best describes me is called dark empathy. And that's what we're going to be getting into this video. So before we get to the dark empathy, I need to reiterate something that I said in my last video that I think some of you are missing. When I decide to get in front of this camera and make a video, I don't have a script. I have an idea of a video. And then everything that I say just starts appearing in consciousness and flowing out of my mouth. So when you watch my videos, you are getting a glimpse into my unconscious mind. These things are occurring and coming out as fast as they come in, which is why I keep telling people I make these videos primarily for me. I watch my videos on average 2 to 3 times after I've created them, because I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you. And so when you interact with me in the comments, what you're interacting with is actually what's called my ego, which we are going to get into at a later date, probably during the series of these videos. Part of the reason that I make these videos is, once again, because I want to express the inner workings of my mind and then watch back from a conscious perspective what flowed through my unconscious so that I can work out all of my own shit. So when you guys are calling me mentally ill or narcissistic or whatever, or you think I'm an abusive, controlling husband, there's a disconnect here, because on the one hand, when you say, hey, we really love how honest you are, and then I say something you don't like and you're like, oh my God, this guy's fucked up. Well, of course I'm fucked up, right? Like, notice not many people stand in front of a camera and just spew out the contents of their mind. In order for you to get this content, I have to be a little bit unusual. It's not the typical thing that people do. Generally, when somebody presents themselves to the world, it's in a very scripted manner. They think about what they want to say, and then they decide how they feel about it consciously before they put it into the public space. What I'm actually doing, and have been doing for a very long time, is what's called shadow work. I'm always trying to understand my own mind's deeper motivations for the things that it does. And so, down that vein, what we're going to be talking about today is called dark empathy. One of the commenters, and I wish I had made note of your name, I responded to the comment. I was in the gym last night when I read the comment about somebody calling me a narcissist, and someone jumped in and was like, no, actually you're wrong. This guy does not fit the bill of a narcissist. Narcissists are not able to connect with their own emotions, and certainly not with the emotions of others. And so that's what separates people who are truly narcissistic. Like this gentleman said in the comments, he was like, I've been in a relationship with a narcissist, and that's not what it looks like. A person who is a dark empath, which by the way is not a diagnosable condition, this is not something that you're going to find in the DSM-5, is a person who experiences all three of what's called the dark triad, which is Machiavellianism, psychopathy, and narcissism. But where a narcissist and a dark empath differ is that the dark empath is fully capable of understanding other people's feelings. I understand all the feelings that you guys have. When you communicate with me in the comments and you tell me about things in your lives, or the people in my life talk to me about their feelings and their concerns and the things that they care about, I understand those things. But I'm very rarely, if ever, capable of truly sympathizing. So for the dark empath, what they do is they use their effective ability to empathize, to understand people's emotions, but it's a game. Like, it's not real. I use people's emotions to manipulate them. That's what made me such a good salesman for so many years. I'm capable of connecting with people on a very superficial level, enough for them to believe that I'm actually involved in their lives intimately, when in reality, there's always an ulterior motive. So while I usually don't, like I said, I don't take anything from a script, I do want to read you a little bit about dark empathy, because this is something that I've actually been working on in myself. When I recognized that I have psychopathic tendencies, Machiavellian tendencies, narcissistic tendencies, when I can see these things existing inside of me through the process of what's called shadow work, it made me want to get a grip on it, insofar as anyone can actually get a grip on something like this. So I've got a website up here. Give me a second. So as I was saying, dark empathy describes people considered dark empath display all three of the signs of the dark triad, like I mentioned: narcissism, psychopathy, Machiavellianism. For those of you who don't know what Machiavellianism is, it's someone who's vindictive, abusive, cynical, prone to lying, and lacks empathy. Psychopathy is an antisocial personality disorder where someone lacks empathy, remorse, the ability to control their behaviors. They may be manipulative and commit crimes. And narcissism, when someone has an inflated sense of self, craves attention and admiration, and feels superior to others. So that is that's the dark triad. A dark empath is a person who basically has the cognitive knowledge of empathy. They know how to relate to somebody. They know how to understand if someone is going through something or is feeling something, but they don't know how to follow through with any actions. So everything tends to be very superficial. That's the reason I'm wearing the shirt today. See? Trump 2020. Fuck your feelings. I don't really give a fuck about your feelings. Your feelings don't have anything to do with me. When I make a video and I express the things that are going on in my life, that are going on in my relationship, and then I get feedback from the audience, the reason that I care about the feedback is because I go through the comments and I look for anything that I consider to be useful. So I dismiss most of the hate, but not always, because the part of shadow work is that in order to fully understand your inner motivations, you have to express yourself in a public way. If you try to just look inside yourself and spot all of your character flaws, so many of them are hidden in the unconscious realm that you will almost certainly never be able to find them. When you say something, when you let your unconscious mind flow through your mouth onto a platform like YouTube, where one, you can watch back what you said, you can look at your own facial expressions, your body language, and then you can say, then you can ask yourself, is the person that I'm listening to talk right now consistent with the person that I want to be? Do I agree with the things he's saying? Do I agree with his behavior? And so when I watch a video, often I go, oh my God, I can't release this. I can't put this out there. It makes me look bad. It makes me look crazy, mentally ill, narcissistic, psychopathic. But that's the whole point. I need to put out there the true unbridled contents of my subconscious mind so that I can examine it, so that other people can examine it, and then point out what they feel to be flaws, so that I can then examine their points of view and start to build this identity that I feel comfortable with. That is more or less what shadow work is, and it's what Sarah just started engaging in our home, because that's one of the things that I feel has been the biggest problem in our marriage, is that she's not honest enough with herself about who she really is, because she spent so many years in a religion that tells you to ignore everything but that book. It tells you not to seek to look too deep. These ideas of shadow work, some things I'll be talking about on the channel in the days to come, are the anima and animus. These are ideas put forth by Carl Jung. So some of you will be very familiar with this, some of you will not, and that is what forms really the basis of my channel. All along, I've been sitting here since day one talking about my personal experiences. And so if one of you were out there with enough time on your hands and you went back and you studied the videos that I've produced, going all the way back to the videos that I made about my teeth, the videos that I made about getting off psych drugs and getting on to TRT and how great that made me feel, the struggles that I had in my marriage with TRT, the reasons that I started cycling, all of these things, you will see through the course of all these videos, the progression of my journey. You will see that some videos contradict or seem to contradict other videos. The reason for the contradictions is because maybe I make a video about Anadrol and how it feels in week 1, week 2, and I tell you, hey guys, this is what I think about Anadrol. And then 6 months down the road, or into my second Anadrol cycle, after having been able to experience, let's say, for example, 6 weeks of Anadrol, and then come off of it, and then look backward on not only the videos that I made, but the way I treated my family, the way I performed in the gym, what kind of gains did I actually get from that, then that can change the view that I have of a compound. So I can make a video today talking about what it feels like to be on Trenbolone and Xanax. I am going to make that video today or tomorrow or this week. Right now, I'm feeling amazing on Trenbolone and Xanax. It has done so much to alleviate so many of my problems. I could be making a video a year down the road with a totally different attitude once I've had 6 months on the drug and can decide from in sort of the rear view look as to how I really feel about it. Which is why I keep saying, don't do what I'm doing. I'm not a fucking steroid guru. I don't have all the fucking answers. Guys are constantly asking me for what should I do with this compound or that compound, or how much should I take, or what do you think about this? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, guys. I'm only giving you my experiences. I'm not a fucking coach or a doctor or a lawyer. I've said this time and time again. I'm not just saying that to cover my ass. I'm saying it because I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I take a drug that I've never taken, and then I report on how it feels. And then some guys go, oh my God, look at him. He's having such a great time on Tren, or he's having such a great time on Primo or Anadrol. I'm going to run out and get some. And that's exactly why not very many professionals make content like this, because they don't want to be responsible for somebody running out and getting on fucking Tren and then beating their old lady. I don't give a fuck about that because I'm a dark empath. I don't care if somebody takes my content and goes and does something they're not supposed to do with it. That's not my fucking problem. I'm not really making these videos for anyone but myself. And as I said earlier, so somebody could say, well, why don't you just make the videos and keep them on your computer? Because it's not real until you say it in front of an audience. I could just go sit in my room and ask myself questions about what I think my real motivations are. What's the real reason that I, talk to girls at work and then have problems in my relationship? If I sit alone in my bedroom and try to come up with the reasons, I'm almost certainly going to bullshit myself. But if I make a video and I talk about, the relationship that I had with a girl at work that was totally inappropriate and the effects that it had on my wife and my family, now I have to face the truth. I have to read you guys' comments and hear what you think of that behavior. I get to watch the effect that it has on my wife. I can't hide from reality. I can't put lipstick on a fucking pig. I can't change the reasons and the motivations and twist it and spin it when other people are also seeing it too, because they can call me out on my bullshit. Now, does that mean it's impossible for me to continue to be deluded? Of course not. I could double and triple down. I could dig in. In a lot of ways, that's really what I'm probably doing right now. I've got an entire audience of people who are saying, get the fuck off the Tren. And I'm saying, shut the fuck up. I will get off the trend when I'm ready to get off the trend. I appreciate your comments, but understand you have no control over what I do in my life. I'm never going to allow other people to inform my reality. All you can do is offer your critiques and your criticisms, and then I'm going to take that within myself and decide which parts I agree, disagree with, which parts resonate, and try to build this into a cohesive, self-image, basically. So again, this video could run way too long if I talk about all of the facets of this type of psychological view. And I'm going to be expressing a lot more of these things in this series called Trenbolone Confessions. Because one of the really powerful things that Tren does is it makes conversations like this easier. Some people will say, why are you on Tren, dude? You're not even fucking competing. You're doing this to yourself and you're getting nothing from it. But you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you don't seem to understand that I don't just view steroids as bodybuilding fucking drugs. They are hormones. Hormones change all kinds of things inside the human body. They affect metabolism, the way your brain works, the way your liver, they affect everything. If you have any doubt of this, just spend a little time with a woman. She's gonna go on her period and you're gonna see the power that hormones have to change her attitude, her ability to communicate with you on an emotional level, her ability to connect with you on an emotional level, her ability to have a libido, to perform sexually, everything. A woman goes on her period, it can affect every facet of who she is. Trenbolone and androgens are no different. When I use Tren, it forces me to look at a darker side of myself that not on Tren I ignore. And that's why it can cause so many problems in my marriage. The Tren is not causing the problem. The Tren is forcing me to look at something that I don't like about my marriage, or I don't like about myself, or I don't like about society. It doesn't allow me to ignore it, to cast it off, to go, whatever. It's like it forces you to dig in deeper, and that's one of the reasons that I love the drug so much. Even if I wasn't getting any bigger, which I'm not getting any bigger on it. There's so many other things of value that can be gained from a drug like Tren that it's one of the reasons I continue to do it. Because at the end of the day, this is my journey of personal growth. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed to succeed. And it may come a day that Trenbolone has nothing else to offer me. I've used a lot of drugs in my life. I've used benzos, I've used psychedelics, I've used uppers. I haven't really used a lot of downers, honestly. I'm not into downers. I've never understood opiate addicts. Like, I fucking hate the way opiates feel. I mentioned that I've used hydrocodone a couple of times. When I had every one of my teeth ripped out and 4 rods screwed into my jaw and then an entire prosthetic placed all in one day, I didn't take anything more than ibuprofen 800. I don't like the way opiates feel. That's just me. My brother died of an opiate addiction. So everyone is different. But anyway, I digress. So the point of this video is really just to open the door to another series of videos and to set the stage so that maybe some of you can better understand where I'm coming from. One guy, I think in the comments said, what was it? He's something like, he's crazier than Mark Plummer and dumber. Wow, dude. I mean, you're really trying to just fucking stick it in and twist it, aren't you? A lot of what I say on this channel, if I'm being totally honest, and I don't mean to offend anybody, I dumb it way the fuck down. Most gym bros don't give a flying fuck about anima integration, shadow work, psychoanalysis. They don't give a fuck about any of that. And so what I understand, again, as a dark empath, is that I know how to communicate to my audience. If I start talking and ranting about a whole bunch of shit out the gate, that doesn't hook people to come back for more, then I'm never gonna build a channel. And if I can't build a channel, then I don't have all of you sitting out there in the audience acting like mirrors so that I can grow and learn from my own mistakes and successes. I can look at my videos and see how different things perform and then try to, bring all of that stuff in and continue to perfect myself as a human being. So what a lot of you seem to think is just like happenstance or chaos or a guy that's running around totally crazy and unhinged. Every single thing I do on this channel, everything I say has a purpose. This is chess. It's not fucking checkers. I always have a motivation. I always have an angle because that is the way my brain is wired. And so when I stand up here and bare my soul to you, it's really not hard for me to do because I really just don't give a flying fuck whether or not anyone else out there likes me for who I am. At the bare minimum, you will know me for who I really am. And those are the only kind of relationships I care about. I don't care about anybody else in the world enough to bullshit them about who I am. And that's what I'm trying to get from my wife. I want her to get to a place where she can proudly say, this is exactly who I am. All my faults, all my failures, all my flaws, all my quirks, take it or fucking leave it. Because I want to love her for who she is, not for the projection that she creates to put out into the world in hopes of getting people to like her. I could do what Greg Doucette and a lot of these other guys do and be very fake and fucking superficial and pretend like I don't have triggers and I don't fucking hate liberals and I don't hate fucking what's happening to our country and I can't stand the transgender movement. I could be sitting up here and being disingenuous talking about everybody's a circle and let's all just fucking get together and love each other. People who do that only care about one fucking thing, and that's money. They want to appeal to the biggest audience possible so that they can make the most money possible. I don't give a fuck about that. I have plenty of money. What I want is a better and deeper understanding of me. And when you watch my videos and comment in the section below, you help me grow as a person. And for that, I truly thank you. So hopefully you will continue to go through this journey with me. Hopefully you will continue to give me your criticisms and your critiques, your hate and your love. All of it helps me to become the person I know I'm capable of being, the person that I want to be inside. And now I'm looking for my button to turn this off. So thank you for sitting through this again if you did. I'm going to keep protecting the cycle. I hope you will protect the cycle. I hope you guys will stop, those of you who do, trying to model anything you do after me. I am no one's role model. I am a fucking lunatic dude who is just like everybody else. I'm just trying to find my way in this world. The only thing I hope that I inspire any of you to do is to look inside of yourselves and start doing the very hard work of ferreting out all of the ways that you lie and manipulate yourself. All of the ways that you're dishonest about your true feelings and your true motivations. Because when you start digging into that, that's when life gets really exciting. It's hard and it's fucking scary. And sometimes you'll want to quit. Sometimes you'll want to jump out of a fucking window. But I believe it's the most worthy thing any of us could ever hope to pursue. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a shit how many friends you have, how much love for you have for your family, how close you are to your wife or your kids or anybody else in this world. The ultimate reality is that we are all trapped in here alone. And if you don't like the voices you hear inside of this, it doesn't matter how good the rest of your life is, you will still be living in hell. And that's not something I would wish on anyone. So as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.